Hello all, I'm Michael with WriterSanctuary. So how much does a writing channel make on YouTube? Well, that depends on a lot of factors, and today we're going to dive into what I've experienced since getting monetized. Now, the first thing I'd like to point out is that every channel is going to vary greatly. There are simply just too many variables at play to guarantee any specific amount. Even channels in the same industry could have wildly different payouts each month. Now, with that being said, let's take a look at how much my channel makes. Now, I focus on self publishing, blogging, and freelance writing. In fact, YouTube puts my channel in the education category. And compared to other niches, educational materials just don't have the same viewership. So, that right there is a minus. I'm just not going to pull the same numbers as something like a health and fitness channel or a gaming channel. All right, let's take a look at the RPM of my channel. Now, the RPM is an estimate revenue you make for every 1,000 views. Now, the RPM can vary from month to month depending on how much advertisers throw at YouTube for ad space. Then, the difference in bidding amount will vary from niche to niche. For example, health and fitness industries usually pay far more in ad space than writing apps or services. That's because the health and fitness industry is far more competitive and is considered a high value niche. Anyway, the RPM of my channel sits at $11.89 for the last 28 days, which is considered pretty good for a writing channel. And as you can see, some videos generate more income than others. My top paying video this month is the one I made comparing pros and cons of Reedsy a few years ago, which goes to show that even videos that you made 3, 4, 5 years ago can still keep generating quite a bit. It all depends on if it's evergreen, and there are some things I need to change in that video, so I might be making a new one here relatively soon because Reedsy has made all kinds of changes to their platform. But anyway, now let's look at the total the channel has made since thus far in 2025. And as you can see, the first few months were coming along nicely until about March, and then everything decreased quite a bit. Why is that? Usually you see this happen because of seasonal interest. I've also witnessed something similar on blogs. During the beginning of the year, you get the people who create New Year's resolutions for life improving changes. In my case, it was a lot of people looking to make money from home starting the first of the year. Now, you'll see bumps like this in the health and fitness industry as well, as everybody makes New Year's resolutions to live better or lose weight. And during those seasonal peaks, advertisers will throw more money at marketing, which makes every view and click worth more for your channel. Something else that will contribute to less income is inconsistency with uploads. Now, I've lost a lot of watch time recently because I haven't been consistent with the uploads for the algorithm to distribute. So it's starting to view my channel as somewhat abandoned, and so it's getting fewer and fewer views. And that's something I'm trying to fix. So now let's take a look at the monthly income. Over the last 5 months, I've only averaged about 58.64 per month. Now, needless to say, that's not going to help me turn YouTube into a full-time career. I need to make almost 3 times that amount every day. But I would like to also point out that making 58.64 per month is better than what I was getting prior to December, which was nothing. I've been working on my channel since 2018 and only recently met the 4,000 hours of watch time last December. And I'm losing that exceptionally quickly, so I need to get some more videos up. And lastly, longer videos tend to make more money for a writing channel. 15 to 20 minutes long tends to be the most effective. It's not too short, not too long. You're somewhat still keeping the people's interest as long as it's a topic that people want to watch. Now, one reason is that the 8-minute mark, YouTube starts embedding more ads within the video. So if you have a video that is only 4 minutes long, you're not going to get as many video slots as something that is 15 minutes long. So take a look at my top performing video for both views and income. It's a little over 15 minutes long and has generated 83.86 since the channel was monetized in the middle of last December. What this tells me is that I should create more pros and cons videos regarding writing apps that are roughly 15 minutes long. And yes, I do have more planned for before the end of the year. But in order for me to make a full-time wage, I would need 13,454 views per day. That's as long as the RPM stays the same, but as I said, it will fluctuate month to month. So what does that RPM look like from week to week? Well, as you can see, I can have severe ups and downs. Again, this depends on the quality of the videos and how much advertisers are paying YouTube for ad spots. Also keep in mind that advertisers have some control over what types of videos show their ads. You can see this in the RPM by content metric, as every video has a different dollar amount. So the step-by-step guide for publishing a book with Reedsy is worth more than my review of Scrivener. So now you can see that what I mentioned earlier about there being way too many variables in play to focus on making money on YouTube. For a channel that focuses on general writing, it's exceptionally difficult, especially when you stack it against other niches. Now, I'm not saying that it's not worth your time to grow your YouTube channel. I've had a lot of fun so far, I've met some great people, and I made a few sales here and there for books and whatnot. But keep in mind that not everybody will wake up and see one of their videos go viral. Now, as an author, I think you should create a YouTube channel anyway, just to help market the books and stories that you write. I think YouTube should be a great marketing tool for just about everybody. Now, video content can be quite powerful sales device regardless of your niche. So, what can I do to make more money and eventually retire from freelancing? First of all, I need to keep a regular publishing schedule. Not only is it good for your subscribers and maintaining their attention, but it also pleases the YouTube algorithm. Now, the perfect schedule depends on your YouTube goals, but for me, I would like to get back to uploading 3 times per week. That's not including the live shows that I do on Monday and the members only live shows that I do on Friday. Then we have the writing sprints throughout the days, the shorts that I've been uploading, but for the most part, most of my money comes from these regular videos, so I'd like to get back to doing Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. That means exploring more writing topics that might pique the interests of both subscribed and newer viewers. But also keep in mind that not every video is going to land well with your audience. That's okay to experiment with different formats and topics, but try to focus mostly on what is currently working. Sprinkle in new ideas periodically to test the waters. Second, double down on content that generates views and income. Reviews, comparisons, tutorials generate the most viewership and thus the most income for the channel. Of course, these 3 elements work exceptionally well regardless of the industry. Now, some of my best performing posts on the blogs on all 3 of them, all 3 of the websites, are reviews and tutorials. This is writing, the health and fitness, and the gaming blogs. And as we saw earlier, the review-like videos perform the best in both viewership and income. So after a few months, take a look at the analytics of your channel. You'll see that the videos that are gaining the most attention. This will help you decide what writing topics to cover. And because every writing channel is different, that might be book reviews, it could be interviews with other authors, it could be a slew of different things. So kind of experiment and see what works best for you. And third, don't forget other methods for generating revenue. For example, you can put an affiliate link in the video description the moment you start your channel. You don't have to wait for YouTube to be put into the partner program to sell stuff off your channel from affiliate links. YouTube memberships is also could be a good way to go if you're offering something awesome that only members can see. And once you hit that illustrious 4,000 hours of watch time, you can also link your online store in the hopes to sell some products. In fact, you can probably see my online store of goods below this video. Also, don't forget topic and personality. Not all topics are going to work well for your audience, and if you present yourself like Eeyore on Valium, it's not going to be very engaging. At my age, it's more difficult to muster up some energy that a lot of the younger YouTubers relish in, but I try to be personable and more interactive, I guess. Because there are a lot of ways you can make money on YouTube aside from ad revenue. But for the most part, all it takes is time to explore your options for monetization and uploading videos your audience wants to watch. With any luck, I can start cutting into that 13,454 views I need per day to retire from freelancing. But for a channel like mine, that's easier said than done. I mean, I would have to come up with some amazingly viral videos to hit that. And it's kind of disappointing when you see like all these big channels get millions of views within hours of uploading. But again, that just comes down to niche and what your topics are. Some things are just not going to be as effective on YouTube as others. But that doesn't mean that YouTube isn't fun. I am enjoying my time creating videos for you guys, and I would keep doing it even if I wasn't getting money for it. Like I said, I started my channel in 2018. I didn't get monetized until 2024. So there's 6 years that I didn't get a dime from YouTube. But making money is never what it was about. And don't get me wrong, I would love to retire from freelancing and let the YouTube channel pay for all my bills. That would be great. But for the most part, I just like doing videos. Anywho, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. For more videos about self-publishing, blogging, freelance writing, or anything else I cover, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. I think it's going to do it for me today. I'm going to get back to finding topics you guys want to watch. I'll see you next time.